What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. This is your host, Jordan, with Conquer Trading and Investing. This is our weekly Forex analysis and forecast for the upcoming week of December 2nd to the 6th. We got a lot to cover in this video. We're going to do it. We're going to make sure we have our plan going into next week. This has been super helpful for a lot of people. You need to start with this. You start with this, you're putting yourself on the right path to profitability. A lot of traders that have been following us for the past month are doing that exactly now. They see the markets in a whole new light. I want you also to be there with us. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do so. We're putting out videos every day, live streaming every day at 9 o'clock in the morning Eastern time for the New York session. If you can't join us live, watch the replay and stay in the flow and keep the pulse of the market. Let's see what we have going on this week, because we have a lot in store, starting with the calendar. Taking a look at the calendar, we see over the weekend we have manufacturing PMI numbers out of China. Be careful, heads up, all Australian dollar traders. This is going to definitely bring some volatility, followed by Monday evening. The Central Bank of Australia has a rate statement. They're expected to be on hold, but expect volatility. We might get some upside if there's any surprises. Big deal. Also, Monday morning, manufacturing PMI numbers on the US dollar. This could definitely provide the next catalyst for the dollar and which way we move. Aside from that, we got non-manufacturing PMI numbers on Wednesday. We want to see that the service sector is still with us. And we also have non-farm payrolls on Friday. All right, let's get to it. We're going to start here with the Euro US dollar. She's been really good to us ever since we started live streaming together, trading the markets together. We took some nice trades on the downside here. Waited for a pullback to this resistance right over here, got short again over here, took some profits, and now we're on the sidelines. What's next? Well, looking at the chart, you could see we're in this channel. Hey, really important. Real important before we go any further. Anybody could do this. You can do this. I really hope this opens up your eyes and what's needed to be successful, because it really works. A lot of people that are following us, they're seeing the market in a new light. They're taking trades and they're finding themselves on the right side of the market. It's a good feeling. Again, I want you to be a part of this. All right, we're in the middle of this channel. You can see here on the daily time frame. We always start on the daily time frame. We drill down to the 8-hour looking for entries. We're looking for chart patterns, channels, trend lines. We're looking for triangles. We're looking for support and resistance. Right now we're in no man's land. We're in the middle of the channel, right? And we're between this resistance and this support. So what we're doing is we're waiting. Take a look here on the 8-hour, and you can see that we got a little room. We're hoping we get up here next week. If Euro US dollar is able to test up here next week, we will be looking to go ahead and see if we could get short back towards the support, looking for our take profits. If we do break this trend line, we'll then reevaluate. We'll have the true trend turning to the positive side. We'll be looking for longs out of this channel. And if we get above this resistance here, we got a nice first take profit area to look forward to. So right now we're on hold on the Euro US dollar. You just want to step aside, give it some time, and wait. All right, let's take a look at gold. XAU, US dollar, see what's going on. This also pair has provided some really good trades since we've been involved together. Let's take a look and see what our next move is. You could see here, again, we look at the daily time frame with no indicators. We're looking for what's going on. We see this resistance here above us, and we see that we're kind of trading, near some minor resistance right now. Price is held at it. That's not a big deal. Let's look at the 8-hour. Okay, what we're really looking for is we're really looking at this line here. If we could get a test of this line over here, this resistance around 1475, 1477, we're looking to see if price will resume down off it, if it's rejected by the resistance, and we could pick up some more shorts. So again, like the Euro US dollar, we need to practice a little bit of patience here and wait for this trade to develop further. If the bulls are able to reclaim this level, if the bulls get above here, all right, we'll have the true trend also positive. And at this point, we got $30, $40 of room here to look for a trade to get into. Our first take profits would be all the way up here. Right? This looks like a nice trade developing if the bulls could regain that level. And until they do, we're looking to the short side. So right now, we're just waiting. We're waiting for things to develop. We're not looking to take a trade yet. That could change Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We're going to follow it and watch it. And that's why if you can't catch the live stream, just watch the first 20-30 minutes of the replay. It's going to tell you everything you need to know. You're going to be able to follow the flow of the market. Let's keep going. Next, we have the US dollar, Japanese yen. Step back a little bit. You can see this pattern here that we've been trading out of, this rising wedge, all right? Until it breaks down, we're not looking to really short this thing, right? If you want to be really aggressive and you get up here and you want to take a short at this resistance, you can see going back to here off of this upper line rising wedge resistance. It's possible. I don't like it. I prefer to wait to see if we break out of this rising wedge to the upside and then look to get long. We got some nice room to the top side. Or, of course, if we ever break down out of this channel to the downside, we're really looking to take advantage of it short. This week turned out really nice. We took a long off of this support right over here, right? I got out of the trade yesterday when Wednesday night when Trump signed the Hong Kong bill into law. There was uncertainty in the market. I got out. I'm on the sidelines right now. I'm looking for next week. What I think is going to happen, what I'm hoping will happen, is that I could get a look at this support line over here, this trend line, the lower trend line support of this rising wedge. And if I could get down over here somewhere next week, I'm going to be looking, bouncing off of here, I'm going to be looking to get long here again. Until then, I'm watching. We actually do have some interesting setups developing this week, all right? On these first few pairs, we're on hold, we're in waiting, we're watching. They're in no man's land right now. If you're long here, you're still managing this trade, but you're not looking to enter this trade right now. You're waiting for it to reset to give you a better entry. That could happen this week. We're really gonna be watching it. All right, let's take a look at the US dollar, Canadian dollar. Let's zoom in here, and what do we see? We see we're in the middle of this consolidation area, this blue box we have here, where price has pretty much been sideways while it's in it. But what else do we see? Look at this trend line. Look at this channel right here. Look at this channel over here. All right, you see prices trading down towards the bottom of it. Has it broken through? I think on the 8-hour we get a better look. Let's take a look together. You can see it's close to breaking through. It really hasn't. But here's the thing. If we do break down to the downside, are you looking to go short? It's kind of a counter trend trade. I'm not going to take this trade to the short side, and because here's why. The risk to reward is not too great. You have to look down here at this trend line support and this support right here, the bottom of this blue box. It's double support right over here. So you pretty much have a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. What I do like seeing is if we break down over here and we get a test of this support, this double support, and we start bouncing off it, I'm going to really look to get long here. That will be a nice trade. This could develop. So why the true trend is positive here in this case, we have this trend line support coming into play on the downside. And we also have this line of support, which is the bottom of this blue box. I like taking the trades off support. That's what we're going to look to do. Take a buy entry of support, why the trend is positive. Let's wait and see if that happens. Or it's a good possibility that this channel holds. If this channel holds, now this is a US dollar pair. We have big news coming out on Monday morning during New York. We have PMI numbers. The US dollar is going to really react off that, I believe. So let's see what happens. But if this channel holds right here and price starts resuming upwards, that gives us another possibility to get long. So this pair is in play. It looks like it's at an actionable point. Watch it closely on Monday with me. We're going to see how we can get in. I'm not going to get in during London. I'm not going to get in until after we get the PMI numbers out of the way during the New York session. So we're just going to watch this on New York and see if it provides us any opportunities to get in then. All right, next we're going to take a look at the Euro Japanese yen. But before we get into it, what we're going to do here real quick is we're going to look at the Euro Japanese yen and the Canadian dollar Japanese yen coinciding with each other. They have very similar patterns and setups. And then after that, we're going to take a quick, brief look at both the pound US dollar and the pound Japanese yen, because neither one of those are providing any type of setup for us. But I just want you to see them and to see why. That should take us about 30 seconds. But first, let's look here at the Euro Japanese yen, and then I'm going to fast forward over to the Canadian dollar Japanese yen. We'll take a look at both of them. There's not much going on in this moment, but there could be next week. All right, you could see that we're trading within this channel over here. Okay, you see it pretty clear. You see right now, as of Friday, we're testing this resistance up here. Price is kind of stalling out. Now remember, the Canadian dollar, Japanese yen, which you're going to look at in a moment, it's the same exact analysis, right? So what we're looking to see is one of two things happen. If price is able to get up here early next week and take out this resistance level, if the bulls take her a little further, at that point what we'll do is we'll wait for a pullback. We'll wait for a pullback. We'll have our entry CCI, the blue line, giving us buy criteria because it'll be pulled away from the trend, the positive trend, and we'll look to get long this trade off of this resistance will then be support. Alternatively, if price is rejected here by this resistance and comes back and tests our trend line support, again, on a resumption upwards of the trend, we'll be looking to get long. We'll have to watch this resistance area right here, looking to move our stop loss to break even pretty quickly, but it's a good trade. Either which way, it's developing, as well as if we get a break of this trend line over here, all bets are off. No longer are we playing this trend channel. What we're doing is we're looking to play the breakout to the downside. But right now, this pair will be in play sometime next week. We'll be following her. I want you to see what that looks like on the Canadian dollar, Japanese yen. All right, so let me pull it up. Here's the Canadian dollar, Japanese yen. You could see, right, the same thing. This channel, you could see the resistance right above. Price is stalling out at the resistance. I know a lot of you got long over down here. Let me show you. I know a lot of you got long over here on the break of this trend line over here off of this support. This is a good trade, but you're stalling out here at resistance. What do you got to do? You got to move your stop to break even right now, right? You got to see what happens. And you also got to take some profits if we start getting rejected by this resistance, okay? If we get back above it, same thing on the euro Japanese yen, you're gonna have an opportunity to get long, and you got a lot of room to the upside to take a nice trade. But you gotta take out this level first, or we might go ahead and retrace downwards, and we might be taking another trade off of this trend line support. So again, both the Canadian dollar and the Japanese yen are looking good, but they're both at points we need to wait and watch what's happening. If you're in this trade, I know some of you are in this trade, you're moving your stop loss to break even, you have a free trade, you're giving it room right already to see what happens if they're able to break above resistance. If they don't, take your profit, get back in at a better level. All right, let's keep going. All right, now we're taking a look at the British pound US dollar. We're not gonna need to spend a lot of time with it. Why? Well, what do we see? We see a couple of things. The first thing you see, obviously, looks nice. We have this huge up move, and price since has been just consolidating. This is going on 5 weeks now or more, just sideways. You don't want to trade sideways markets, okay? You want to stand aside, wait for the breakout. If it starts breaking out to the upside, don't worry about it. We have plenty of time to get in, and we're getting in with momentum. Right now, you don't want to trade sideways markets, and we're sideways here. It is really cool and interesting to note from this perspective right here, you see this trend line up here, right? And you see prices respecting that right here, right now. That's interesting to note. Let's see what happens. We got some big news coming up soon out of the UK. This could provide some direction it will provide direction on the British pound. All of the British pound pairs are just really consolidating. Look here at the pound Japanese yen, same thing. You have all this time just trading sideways ever since the breakout to the upside. We're still above our trendline support, and it's still extremely bullish. But until we get a breakout, stay away from it. There's other pairs that are offering much better opportunity. Let's stick with them. Let's wait for the breakout on these pound pairs, and then we'll get ready to pounce on them. All right, I do want to take a look at a pair that could be possibly in play. This is for a position trade. Okay, watch what's happening here. This is exciting. This could be developing as early as Monday. We're going to look here at the daily first, then drop down to the 8-hour. This is the New Zealand dollar Swiss franc. We're also going to next look at the New Zealand dollar Japanese yen, also providing a very similar opportunity. Let's take a look. We have our long trend line going back. We have this long trend line going back to March of 2019. You could see finally over here this week it has been violated, and also our lighter upper trend line here has been violated to the upside. It looks like a breakout's happening here. We have our support down over here. You can see the support, the green line, in at 0.639. And this looks really healthy. Here's the thing, look to the upside. You got a lot of potential to the upside. The first place that we're gonna look at what to do would be all the way up here at 0.6535. And then we have even further to look at. And that's why I said this could be a position trade, not one of our normal swing trades. This could be a position trade. And guess what? You're collecting a nice swap on this trade. So if we do have the breakout here, and let's look how we could enter. Here's the 8-hour time frame. All right, two things. I have this blue box here. This is a reminder for us. If we get close to that blue box, that's where we're looking for support to hold. We have our green line support. We also have this trend line that was broken and the broken resistance should now be support. If we get down to this double support area, this will be ideal. We'll really be looking for an entry. We might not trade down there. We might trade down there and break down below. Then we know we're wrong real quick. It's excellent opportunity, especially with all that upside. We have a lot of upside here to play. Now, what happens if we just keep going? Definitely not looking to trade this pair at all during Asian session. We'll take a look at it. You know, if there's a possible entry during London or New York. There's no rush. There's a lot of time here. Just we'll wait for the right entry. We'll make sure we got the breakout here. I'm sorry, I should be down on the 8-hour with you. You can see the 8-hour right here. If we get this pullback to this blue box, that's where we want to really look for an entry. It might not happen. We might just start resuming upwards. And if we do, if we start making a higher high during London, if we put in a low price bar during Asia, and then we'll set some buys. If we make a higher high during London, go ahead and take a nibble at it. We'll look for a trade. Our stop will have to be a little further than if we're able to enter down here, but that's okay. This is a trade to watch. This might be the trade of the week, and it might turn out to be a trade that really is held for a while. We have to watch what's going on. This looks like a good one. I want you to really focus in on the New Zealand dollar, Swiss franc, and also on the New Zealand dollar, Japanese yen. Let's take a look there as well. All right, you can see here, you can see this series, this multi-month pattern developing, of which looks like it could be a possible bottom. You have a series of higher lows being put into place. It looks like we're breaking out of this resistance right here, this yellow line that you saw drawn in over there. And it looks like we had the breakout and then the retest of support and could be trading back up. Let's look down here. Let's see what this looks like. Let's look down on the 8-hour. Let's see what this looks like. All right. Now, how do we play this? How do we get in? Very similar. Let's draw in that resistance that is broken. That should now be support. Let's put that green. Support is green. Resistance is red. All right. This is our line over here. This is our support. This should hold. You see that price went ahead, it broke out, it's testing right now, it tested the support, and it's kind of trading up right now. Let's look at this on the 8-hour, and you can see you're getting a better look here. We're all sideways right now. Okay, that's good, because we don't want to take this trade going into the weekend, especially with those big China numbers coming out over the weekend. That could really, all of a sudden, if there's a big miss, that could provide a lot of momentum into yen pairs. We want to wait and see. We want to let the dust clear. We want to wait this out, take a look at this during London or New York on Monday together, see when we're going to be able to get in, if we could get in. We see this nice uptrend developing here. We see that price now as we get close to this support over here. If it resumes upwards, that's definitely where we want to get in. We're going to look at this Monday, actually, Monday morning together, not during London, during New York. We're going to give it a little bit of room to breathe. We're going to take a look then, see what happens at 10 o'clock Eastern time when we get the PMI numbers. And after there, we'll look for an entry to see if it's possible to get in on this pair. This looks like it could potentially be a good trade. I want everyone to be looking at the New Zealand dollar, Japanese yen, and the New Zealand dollar, Swiss franc. They both look like they could be potential position trades. And by position, I mean if we get in here, we got some upside. Right? We got some good upside. So we're going to be looking to hold if we get in a trade here with a really tremendous risk to reward and collecting a swap. We take our normal trades all the time. This is the first position trade in 1 month that we're looking at together, but we want to get some of these on our account if possible whenever they present themselves, and then be taking our normal trades on a day in and day out basis, right? So that's it. There's a lot to cover. There's a lot to cover this week, and there's a lot that's going to be developing next week. Again, if you can't join us for the live streams, go ahead and stay with us when the replays. You could definitely do that. A lot of people it's really clicking for really quickly. All of a sudden, trading makes sense. They're putting themselves on the right side of the market. They're following what we could do. They're realizing anyone can do it. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and do so. We're growing at a phenomenal rate, and that's because we are just offering value, and a lot of people are benefiting. I'm really enjoying going ahead and preparing these plans for you, working them out day in and day out. It is great for me personally, for my trading. Look, we're not talking months or years. If you start following us, if you spend a week learning what we're doing and how we're doing it, and then another week practicing on a demo and start taking trades with us, it's going to be that quickly for it to click for you. Come on, join us, start seeing the markets in a new light. Hey, I really enjoyed this weekly wrap up, this weekly Forex forecast and analysis for the upcoming week. I hope you did as well. I look forward to sharing more with you next week. I'll talk to you all later. Have a great week.